MegaMogwai here, and I got yet another Legends of Runeterra video for you guys today. We shall venture into the Temple of True Ice in my opinion, pretty cool deck. I'm running out of ideas. I'm trying. I really am. So we have a deck that is essentially a reputation beatdown, but we are incorporating this landmark right here, the Temple to True Ice. 3-mana landmark that says when you summon an ally, grow its health to equal its power. So this is kind of like the opposite of the Altar of Unity that a lot of you may know from Demacia. It's pretty much the opposite effect for one less mana, and it fits really well into the reputation archetype, but I've designed a deck that synergizes extremely well into it. And I got some tools that other people aren't really playing, because I got inspiration to play this deck when I ran into it on the ladder. There was this one player who was playing it, and I think the deck got a little bit of traction not too long after that. But it was quite different than this. It was pretty standard with like the Omen Hawk and then the Novoski Snow Dog, right? And you guys are going to see that our early curve is mostly Noxus, and there's a very important reason for it. But that was a really, really good thing that I ran into that person in the ladder. At first, I kind of dismissed it as inconsistent. Was a little bit salty because I got my ass kicked. And then I thought, you know what? I didn't really pay too much attention to this card. This card was probably released in my absence. I didn't really know much of it. Let's see if we can really make it work, right? Like, let's actually design a deck that just thrives from this thing being on the board. And that's what we did right here. We're running it as a full set. There's a lot of landmark removal running around in the ladder, especially because there's been a late resurgence of, or at least like it's gained more popularity. The Sunken Temple, I think that's how you call it. The 5-mana Piltover and Zon landmark that Janna uses. That card is very anti-meta, even though it's kind of meta. It's kind of weird to call it anti-meta because it's pretty established, but it's getting even more usage because it does allow you to counter the curses, right? Morgana, it allows you to nullify Morgana on 5, which is a huge deal, right? So, and it's kind of like a really broken landmark that if unanswered kind of just like wins you the game, really, a lot of times. So there's a lot of explorers running around. I feel like every top tier deck should have room for at least one explorer. There's no justification not to run it, I think. So I am running a full set of Temple to True Ice for two different purposes. One, consistency. You know, if I have 3 copies, the odds of me being able to play this on turn 3 increase. That's just math. And second of all, because if one gets removed, I can potentially play another. Now, don't get me wrong, there are downsides to running a full set of Temple to True Ice, specifically because this landmark doesn't really do anything if you stack it, right? Like, all you need is one. Every other Temple to True Ice that you draw from that point onwards is essentially a brick. So you got to deal with that. So maybe there's an argument to going down to 2 copies and making the deck less reliable on it. But I really wanted to dive deep into it, and that's what I did. There's a lot of very neat synergies that this card provides Noxus with, because Noxus as a region is home to really high-powered, low-health units. And naturally, we can break the balance with this thing right here. So what we have here is a reputation beatdown deck. Pretty similar to the one that I showed not too long ago that was built by Marshall with LeBlanc. We're running Ash as a one-off, and we're running 2 copies of Mordekaiser. Mordekaiser fits the reputation archetype, even though it doesn't really play well in the Temple of True Ice. It does allow us to, you know, get really good value of Lord Mallet and potentially rally with Incessant Tactician, amongst other things. But here's the thing. Lord Mallet with Temple to True Ice is nuts, right? You play this and you have a 5/5 death list that when it dies and spawns the 5/1, that's not a 5/1. Temple to True Ice is not a play effect, it's summon effects. Every time you summon an ally, that means that with Lord Mallet, you get 20 stats for 4 mana, which is ridiculous, right? Like, if your opponent has any sort of mid-range strategy that needs to break through your board, they are screwed by a turn 4, 5/5 deathless Lord Mallet. It is nutty, right? And then Enraged Firespitter becomes an 8/8. Less of a deal, less of like a, it's very impactful, but not as powerful as like Lord Mallet, but still very nice to actually have like a real stat line on this thing and making sure it doesn't die to, you know, a bunch of things running around. And we also get to play a full set of 4 Glory. 4 Glory, if you met the reputation requirement, costs 3 mana. and it says for slow speed, summon 2 Trifarian Glory Seekers. Because the Temple of Trice is a, like I said, mentioned summon effects, we're going to be able to get 2 5/5s with Challenger. And now that we mentioned the Trifarian Glory Seeker, let's head on over real quick to the early curve of the game and why I'm not running stuff like Omen Hawk, and instead I've chose the Blade Squire. The reason why I'm going with the Blade Squire and what seems to be a pretty much all-in Noxus curve is because we're running the Trifarian Hopeful. This card, I wasn't sure it was going to work with Temple to True Ice like I hoped it would, so I actually play tested it so you don't have to, and it does. It does. When I'm summoned, grant me +2 power if you have another Noxus ally. If you have Temple to True Ice and a Noxian ally, which our curve will lead to, we get a 2 mana 5/5. Unlike the Trifarian Glory Seeker, who cannot block, we can block with it, which is insane because if we don't turn for Lord Malat, we can turn for Trifarian Glory Seeker into Trifarian Hopeful and we get 2 5/5s. So no matter what we do, we're going to end up with a bunch of 5/5s by turn 4 onwards, which is how we just beat down the opponent. Thanks to our Incisive Tactician, we will be able to rally onto slower decks that try to stall us out and not really like engage with us combat-wise, like Karma decks. We're able to apply a lot of pressure to those decks with that, and naturally, like Incisive Tactician with LeBlanc and LeBlanc's Mirror Image is a very nice end game setup. As then, we have a couple of Mordekaiser, like I mentioned, a full set of For Glory because the value is just insane, like I mentioned as well. We got Sky Splitter, Bloody Business, Reckoning as a 2-of. This card is actually low-key very good in this meta. It nukes the Galio Morgana deck for obvious reasons, and it also is a very good play to go for when you're facing Mordekaiser, Morgana, because besides units like the 6-drop that spawns the 8/4, everything else like Rekindler, Morgana, etc. dies to Reckoning. So even if they chain a bunch of kill spells, no matter what, when this resolves, only Mordekaiser will remain on the board. And it really does come into play. This card just has a lot of great matchups. It can wipe out a board of elusives potentially. It can do so much. And the fact that it matches really well to Formidables as well makes it a really powerful resource to go for in this current meta. And I really, really like, I thought about even running 3 copies of it, going crazy all in Reckoning, but I think 2 is enough. A couple of copies of Harsh Winds, very high impact spell, and a 1-off of 3 Sisters give us just enough interaction and disruption so that we can really, go about our beatdown game plan as unanswered as possible. And that is essentially the deck list right there. When it comes to mulligans, naturally keep the Temple to True Ice, very important. A lot of times if you have Temple to True Ice in hand and you rack up a few 2-drops with Trifarian Glory Seeker and Trifarian Hopeful, you may actually want to preserve them in your hand and play them on turn 4 back to back instead of dropping them beforehand, especially if you are facing a Piltover and Zon-ish matchup with Trifarian Glory Seeker, where they're going to easily ping her away like PNZ or Bandle City. It's not generally a good idea to drop this on curve. You want to wait for the landmark to do its thing. So just keep in mind the matchup. Sometimes it's important to curve out because you're facing a very fast-paced deck, so you just want to drop your Trifarian Hopeful or Glory Seeker to trade into something and slow them down, prevent some damage. It really depends on, like I said, what you're facing. But ultimately, the deck just functions super well. It's kind of a glass cannon, because if Temple to True Ice does get answered, even if you have another one in hand, having to spend your entire turn 4 on playing this card again is a lot. Like, it's a huge loss of tempo. Then yeah, you'll be able to build up later, but if your opponent applies pressure, you may not have enough time to really get there. So keep that in mind. The deck can be extremely powerful and just outmuscle pretty much anything if it gets the curve right. But if the landmark gets destroyed, then you're in for a rough time. But, that's kind of like the nature of this deck anyways. And I'm going to stop rambling. Thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned for daily Legends of Runeterra content. Hope you enjoyed today's games. I'll see you guys tomorrow. All right. Okay, so we're going to mulligan away you and you. Are we going to keep the Sky Splitter? No, we're going to mulligan that as well. We really want the Temple. We want our Blade Squire as well. Very nice.
I hope that was mud.
I'll trade.
Is that all you got?
Pass.
If it huffs or slithers, it's my kind of critter.
Places to go.
People to be.
I love field work.
I think I want to kill this guys.
So obvious.
I actually want to kill that. Slow them down a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Hold on to Trifarian Glory Seeker until we find the temple, and in the meanwhile, go Lord Mallet.
Pawns need a guiding hand.
Or Malat. Do I look concerned, Malat? There we go. Oh, are you ready? We'll take a little bit of damage here, it's fine. Do I look concerned, Malat? Oh yeah, look at this, 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 look at this!
Sharpen the blade, secure.
Oh man, Deus. Oh, we're popping.
Arigato gozaimasu.
You know what? Seems like a good time to play dragon. Yo, they buffed dragon. Yeah, I think the Enraged Fire Spitter needed this buff. Honestly, a little bit underpowered, like 4 health. Come on.
Face me.
The power!
Join the hunters, they said. See the world from behind a basilisk. Finally, some action.
4 damage is nothing to ignore. Like it's a good attack early on. They happen to have like main decked Aftershock, then we can just play another one. Obviously, like tempo wise we'd suffer, but they main deck it. They actually main deck it.
It's my time.
That early bird sucks, but it's not the worst thing in the world. Oof.
History forgets, but the Black Rose remembers.
I stand for Noxus!
And now pressure. Pressure, pressure, and more pressure. This combo is so neat, though. That's very fine.
I'll cut them apart. Face me.
Move out!
I
Level
whisper truth
into lies. How far are we from reputation? 1. Just 1. You need more portals, son. Do you think it would be fair if elemental boons were 1 mana cards that you can target? Or would it be more OP because now you can give everything to 1 unit? I don't understand the question. Like, Elder Dragon generates them whenever you play a 6-drop. I don't think there's a need to change the way it works. I like the way it works. I like that there's skills. I don't know why we would make it that way. Why are we talking about buffing Elder Dragon?
Victory requires a sharp blade.
I don't know what the hell that pass was, but I'm still gonna develop. You're out of your mind if I'm gonna get out of Reckoning range. Did they know Reckoning was coming? Why are they not doing anything? Oh.
Another rose for the garden.
Aphelios, such a fool. Oh, okay, I take offense to that. In a Demacia matchup, Trifarian Glory Seeker truly seeks glory. Oh, and we draw into the temple. Oh my god. Oh, yes. Oh boy, turn 4, double glories. Oh my god. Meu Deus.
See the world from behind a basilisk. It's my time.
They're not ready. Just no explorer. None of that nonsense.
Monsters still lurk in Demacia's every shadow.
Temple to true ice. Why are they not attacking? Ladies and gentlemen, here we go.
Sharpen the blade, secure the kill. Victory requires a sharp blade. I'll cut them, face me.
I'll show the hunters.
Sometimes you think, well, you can pass here. I can't block with these. So I gotta put them to use. I gotta clear their board. Yeah, they can prevent me from killing whatever they want to drop now, like a Ranger Knight Defector. I'll handle that later.
Demons walk among us, masquerading as men.
And we're close to that reputation, baby. I think I'm going to resort to the Trifarian Hopeful this turn, so I have both Harsh Winds and Bloody Business open. Because this could be a turn where we struggle.
Ready!
Oh, I never would have expected that. Nice. I'm coming for you. Da-da-da-da. We're still like, it's still kind of scary, you know, because this deck, like with the Darkened Harp, it can do a lot. But now, if they play the Ranger Knight Defector, the Trifarian Hopeful completely halts it. And I think it's a good turn. We could play Lord Mallet, but I like Asher.
All the world on one arrow.
Lord Mallet is better for situations where we're getting pressured. I mean, Lord Mallet is good always, but I'd rather go with Ash, because Ash can allow me to make more use of my Trifarian Glory Seekers. And we're just one hit away from having this enabled at 2 mana. So while we may not be able to use this now, after combat, Bloody business is enabled. Gonna go for the play. We expect that.
Is that all you got?
I shouldn't have blocked because of that.
Now cargo.
Good example, but never punished. Never punish.
For glory, you're mine.
Sure.
Remember me.
You want to attack? We're bleeding them out. And we got a Lord Mallet and what a draw. What a draw. What a great, oh my god, I can play all these. I don't know how many times I have to say it, man. Do I look concerned, Mallet?
Pawns need a guiding hand.
I have found such beauty in mortality.
You will know suffering!
I stand for Noxus.
That 5/5 stat line countering Morgana.
Swift death.
Is that the same guy? It's the same guy, right? It's lore. It's actually a lore friendly play.
You are
Face me!
That's two gentlemen's duel. Whoa. Okay, so how about this? Got him.
Truth binds you!
Oh, hey, they gave it their all. They gave it their all. But the true ice prevails. And attack ordering actually mattered. Blood of Zeus. Can I share the Lucian Evelyn deck? Yes. Remind me after this game. I'm gonna keep LeBlanc, but I'm gonna mulligan everything else because I do want to find the temple.
Glad to see you come around to the Temple of True Ice. I run a 2 Ash 2 LeBlanc 2 Lord variant. Here with you till the ship goes under.
A 2/2/2? That's interesting. I think LeBlanc is... Ash is kind of like support here. I don't know about Mordecai, sir. I actually don't know about him. He's kind of broken. The fact that he can fit into a deck like this where there's like actually very little synergy. But he doesn't do much. Due to the nature of the matchup, I am going to drop Trifarian Glory Seeker. There's no pings to worry about here, and getting rid of this, of the stupid horse, is definitely worth it. We get to work for the reputation as well.
I hate having to put my face.
So let's play LeBlanc so we can work for her level up as well. Even though there are things that could happen here that could prevent that, like a fallen star.
I'll cut them, you're mine!
Fuck this horse, screw this. Don't comment me or whatever the name of that thing is. Don't do it. Don't do it. They always have it. Oh, well, I guess not always. Like the health is not as important here.
We live in times of wonder.
For the Empire.
The good thing about Mordekaiser with the temple is that I can respawn. They could dragon us here. If I were to go for this.
Move out.
I kind of want to swing now.
dragon.
Okay, you don't have to be an asshole about it. Do I want to preserve this? Is it worth that? No. We get the reputation, which really matters here. It's not the enraged fire spitter, okay.
Places to go, people to be.
Sharpen the blade, secure the kill. For glory! I'll cut them apart! Face me! You're mine! For glory! Face me! You're mine!
I am everywhere.
I am everyone! Clean. No temple needed.
Another rose for the garden.
Oh man, I just saw the comment. I'm sorry. Remember me again. Mog, do you think there's even the slightest hope that this game bouncing back? The game is too complicated to get new players, in my opinion. So there's none. That's a dumb statement. Like, you know, no offense, but it's silly. Because there are more complex games out there. You can't say that with a straight face when TFT exists.
To serve the greater good. Finally, some action.
If you do not have a part to play, take one.
Our purpose calls to us. We cannot turn away.
For the Empire!
Here, even though we'd like a 5-5, we are gonna do our best to just
Hold the line!
not take a million damage. As we set up the temple, still preserving a unit on board.
I'll show the hunters.
Oh my goodness, they do nothing. Oh boy. Oh boy.
Everyone here is so cool.
My plan is in motion.
That's so cool.
Okay. Shit. That's a lot of damage, actually.
I want to learn.
Uh-oh.
I will unite the Freljord.
Annie, who's your best friend?
Tippers! I know all his secrets.
Stay in school, Annie. You'll make something of yourself yet.
I already made something. Fire!
From your canvas art.
I am frightened, but I am ready.
Embrace it. Your adoring public awaits.
What we do is so much bigger than us both.
I have prepared something very special.
Am I dead?
My final act.
Depends on what their last card is. Shit, dude. Yeah, I'm dead. God damn, we got aggroed. We got aggroed.
A lost battle, not a lost war.
Like in hindsight, that's a waste to it. Let's replace all these. Like seriously, like a lot of you are just fucking assholes, man. Like straight up.
I hope that was Mod. It's
Beat a man when he's down, and he's just like reflecting over his misplay, and he's just like, oh, but what was a throw? Okay.
I make it my business to know the odds.
Unseen forces are at play. Thorns of the Rose.
Your attack is obvious. Ain't no fight I can't win.
Risky for a mystic shot, but I couldn't afford to play around that. I have to make use of my mana here, and I have to good draw. And this may be the opportunity to really to showcase Mordekaiser.
Beware, my lord. Mila comes for your armor.
Do I look concerned to you, Malat? Idiot.
No! Crush and shatter! They admire the rose, but forget its thorns.
Coin buys drink or news. I've got both.
The day is young.
Places to go, people to be.
You are vulnerable.
Oh, you're in for it.
You.
Worst case scenario, if they rocket barrage. Yeah, no, they rocket barrage, we're fucked. Because they still remain, they still have a blocker that remains. They've already played one. So the odds of them having it are not that great. We have no other play.
I didn't expect your company, Lord.
We have to do this now.
Even retired generals must be willing to fight.
Consider this.
I am everywhere. I am everyone.
Nice. Beat down!
One step closer.